welcome to Sullivan's Farm. The big news, I guess, is that we got rain, thankfully. There, just before actually the last video went up. So there's been a bit of a busy few days since then. We got the grass seeding, we must go out and roll it in a minute, and we got fertiliser spread as well. And I'm heading to Estonia, of all places, next week for the off-farm job, so we're trying to get ready for that too. We have the spinner back in its little house again now for a few more weeks. We got the fertiliser spread yesterday, a bit of little and often. Almost every paddock in the place got something. The ones I was really targeting were the ones, say, we didn't plan on cutting silage off them, but the grass got too strong, so they didn't get any fertiliser in advance. I was happy enough to get a bit of 18-6-12 back out on those, and a little bit of urea here and there as well, just to keep things ticking over. Finished with the spinner for a little while again. I always give it a good wash out afterwards and give it a little bit of a spray with this as well. I've tried to use waste oil before just to keep the moving parts lubricated, but it was just very messy with a brush and a little bucket or a little drum or something like that. So I find this just a little bit easier. I don't know, this costs €6-7. I mightn't use one of them every 2 years, so it makes life a little bit easier. And that's it. I don't know much about machinery, but I try to look after anything I have because I don't have the money to be buying new ones. And then I don't use it that often either, so a couple of extra minutes clean at the end keeps me happy. That's the last of the urea that we bought, the earlier stuff we bought. And then I think over here there might be 4 or 5 bags of 18-6-12 left, so that's pretty much it. I was trying to work out yesterday then what we'll need for the rest of the year as well, and I think maybe another ton of 27, 2.5, 5, something like that will keep us ticking over. I'll throw a nice bit of that out onto the fodder heap that we'll spread in another while as well, there are months time, and hopefully that'll keep us ticking over. And then we'll have spread maybe a half a ton of bought in bagged stuff less than last year, so I'm happy enough with that. Right, we're here. Oh, Shakira. I can tell already there's going to be some dust. I can feel it in the throat. And just like that, we're done. About an hour. And there's just over the 3 acres here. Don't tell the contractor that. He said 3 acres, so they charge by the acre. Anyway, it's done. And it's flat. And we're going to close the gap now here. And wait for the rain. It's apparently coming in the next day or two, and we go from there. So the next stage of the transformation of the field is upon us. And now that we're getting there with this side, we'll do it all again on this side next year. More fun and games, but sure, look, 'tis a process and 'tis a bit of research. The dust every place off it now is just unreal. We'll have to get the man to valet the tractor when it goes in for a service. Now we're going from the dust of the field up there to the calf ship, we'll call it a ship, down here. They're in for their first of 2 doses, first of 2 shots for blackleg. And I have a couple of boluses there. I'm going to throw those into, or 1 bolus each, into them as well. another job done. They'll need a second shot 4 to 6 weeks time, so there's a bit of a window there for the second 2 mil of Tribovex or Covexin. I think it's the same active ingredient in both for blackleg. The boluses be a bit of a bonus if something happens. There was something a neighbour gave me, so I may as well put it down their necks as much as anything else. Now they're going the wrong way. So. Now we're back on track again, and we have good help as well. There's a future Waterford hurler. We got those jobs done in perfect weather the other evening. The sun was shining. It was actually a little bit too, well, I wouldn't say that. I'd never say it was too warm. And the weather's changed, but it's perfect weather as well now. So I suppose it was all about your perspective. It started raining, and it's the ideal weather to wash in the fertiliser and the seed and get it germinating and growing in the field we rolled. And in the grass field beside us then, and all the other paddocks that got their own fertiliser, the rain will help wash in the fertiliser and help the grass plants as well to grow on and to produce more leaves and all that kind of stuff. So we're kind of back on track. It's heavier the rain is getting. The last thing we need to do now is go out to the Ferroff Knock and see the bigger cattle out there. But this is what the field, the Ferroff Knock, looked like before the cattle went into it last week. So this is the Ferroff side of the Ferroff Knock. It is real, we call it hay meadow type stuff, and we'll see how they go in it. That's what it used to, or that's what it looked like last week anyway, and this is what it looks like now. There's a bit of it trampled in, a bit of it grazed, and I suppose we're going to leave another bit. I think are they the 3/3 that you're supposed to do it? Graze a bit, trample a bit, and leave a bit. I'd love to tell you that was part of the plan, but sure, we reacted to the weather and all that kind of thing. So we'll move them there tomorrow. Might give them overnight again in it, and we'll go from there. I guess them grazing it and leaving a bit and trampling a bit or whatever else they were doing on it is only part of the story. We'll have an update maybe in fortnight, 3 weeks time, to see what the grass regrowth is like, and we'll know more about the whole thing then. Alright, the next job when I'm back from Estonia now is to pick out the 5 2-year-old cattle. There's 2 of them here in front of me. They're after reminding me of it there now. She's a decent heifer in fairness. And then there's this one, the little Jersey one. But 'tis a pity she's not a cow in somebody's parlour, but that's the way the thing goes. I suppose one thing to watch with her, I'll have to bring them into the air to separate them anyway. But I'll try as best I can anyway, run a hand on them and see if there's a bit of flesh cover there already. I don't want to feed them and make them over fat, and apparently these Jersey types go over fat very easily. She would walk away, wouldn't she? What I need to do as well next week is separate out maybe 3, I think there's 4 or 5 actually, of the Frisian heifers that they're doing okay, but they might do better if they had a little bit of extra space themselves. So we'll separate them out, and we'll do the same as with the milk. We'll give them an extra few cubes, and maybe give the bigger Angus bull calves a little few less cubes, and we'll go from there. That's it from this video then. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine or the rain, whatever part of the world you're in, and the grass is growing and the animals are growing and the crops are growing and all that stuff. So mind yourselves, and we'll talk to you soon. Good luck.